I want us to look at that phrase, your spiritual service of worship, and just meditate on it a little bit. Spiritual service of worship is a notable phrase, and to begin with, we focus on the word spiritual, logikos. It simply means in the realm of the soul. When we talk about worship, we're talking about something that originates in the soul, in the inner person. The word actually could be translated reasonable, as it is in some translations. That is, it originates in the reason, in the intelligence. Worship is latreia. It is a religious worship. It is a word used for priestly activities. Our worship before God, the service that we render to God in worship, is spiritual. That is to say, it is internal rather than external. Music or no music, beautiful music or not so beautiful music, true worship originates in the soul. It is spiritual, and that is where it begins. This is the worship, Paul says, that is acceptable to God. It is the kind of worship God desires. Greek term here means utterly satisfying to God. Now keep in mind, worship is an act by which we offer praise to God, right? It is not a mood that we put ourselves in. It is not a feeling that we have induced by the beauty of what we hear. Worship is an activity which we give to God. He is the audience. He is the one to whom we offer worship. Therefore, we need to offer Him that worship which is acceptable to Him. And what is acceptable worship to God? It is that worship that is spiritual, not physical, not just the voice, but the soul. It is that worship that rises out of the heart. This is the worship that is satisfying to God. And of course, in Romans 12, 1 and 2, it says nothing about music. Music, playing and singing, is our physical response to the worship of the soul. But a worshiping soul is a worshiping soul. And if there's music, it sings. And if there's no music, it worships without the tune. By thanking God for His person and His works and offering Him praise. True worship then comes from the soul. And the more your soul grasps the glory and wonder of God, the more you will worship. I agree that there's nothing more exhilarating and joyful and even in a sense instructive than this kind of corporate worship. But it is only true worship to the degree that it is infused with your heart adoration of God. And the more you know of God, the more you infuse into your worship. That's why I feel so badly about the death of the hymns. You could go to a lot of churches and never hear the music you heard this morning. You could go to most churches and never hear that. That's tragic. Because the hymns carry theology in a profound way. They also carry it in a subtle way. And there are a lot of people who can't sing the hymns because they don't get it, because they don't know enough theology to pick up the subtleties and the nuances. I love to sing the hymns because they're not just flatly apparent. They draw up the deeper things. That's why they've lasted for centuries. And you bring to your worship only what your heart brings to your worship. And if the primary experience for you is the groove of the tune, that's not worship. And if you're content with the 7-11 choruses, 7 words repeated 11 times, that doesn't say a whole lot for the depth of your theology. You're not infusing that experience of song with much soul knowledge.